Welcome to the show, and welcome to Glow So Bright. This is an intelligence report on Stonewall Underground, dated October 9, 2025. Precedence is routine. Bottom line up front, Stonewall Underground appears to be an all-transgender, decentralized armed group which operates nationally in the United States with subgroups which operate by region or state. While not necessarily bearing paramilitary characteristics, some groups appear to be equipped with higher-end equipment. Stonewall Underground has been established since November 9, 2024, while decentralized figureheads and representatives have been promoting their presence on Discord as well as Reddit. Avenues on Reddit will primarily focus on the r/liberal gun owners, r/trans guns, r/socialist RA subreddits. These subreddits are within the genre of leftist gun owners. The organization itself is focused on Discord as a communications avenue, and much of the in-person activity is split between different regions or states. The online presence as a whole approximates about 3,000 members, but quickly broken down to various state-specific groups of roughly 6 to 12 members, with occasional crossover of individuals from different states or regions. Politically, the organization places itself firmly within the far left, with a strong emphasis on queer and transgender identity and organization. However, it is not as inclusive of a community as one might expect. A good example is the misidentification and the resulting bashing of queer armorers' involvement in a focus trip livestream, featuring an attempt to debate two SRA members. Similarly, for politics, the figurehead of Stonewall Underground, Blahaj Blaster, announced and celebrated the assassination of Turning Point USA figurehead and founder Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025. Similarly, much of their active members also celebrated Kirk's death. One of the key members of the organization goes by Blahaj Blaster, who is the administrator of the Discord group, a key promoter on Reddit, and likely the de facto leader of both the central organization as well as the Tennessee subgroup where they are based. No other aliases are currently known on this individual, although the distinctive Ren Fair garb may lead to eventual identification. While looking at the Tennessee subgroup, it appears that a common IFF indicator of this group would be red bandanas, a la Redneck Revolt era John Brown gun clubs, yet with a distinction that it is used as a facial covering. This group numbers at around 20 or so individuals, oftentimes equipped with AR-15 pattern rifles. In a second photo, 7 individuals have been photographed around a transgender flag variation of the Texan Come and Take It flag. Looking at the specific weapons and equipment of this key figurehead of Stonewall Underground, here we have an Aero Precision AR-15 pattern pistol equipped with a suppressor, magpul embus sights, a free-floated rail, a Holosun 403R red dot sight with a Holosun 3-powered magnifier, a CAC K-Spec sandcutter bolt carrier group, aftermarket charging handle, a magpul MOE grip, a point sling, likely a magpul sling, as well as an SBA-3 brace. Pistol appears to be a CZ75 P01 9mm handgun equipped with a Trijicon RMR red dot sight, a Surefire X300 weapon-mounted light, and placed either in a Philster Enigma holster or a Safariland ALS retention holster. Stonewall Underground is divided into various different state or regional groups. Notable examples of organizing would be subgroups based in Arizona, Nevada, Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, and Colorado. There appears to be a lack of standardization in equipment or organization. Small arms and equipment can vary wildly, starting with entry-level AR-15s and generic cheap handguns all the way to KE Arms KP-15 rifles. Of note is the participation of at least one SOT, as evidenced by an automatic 9mm Uzi submachine gun and presumably automatic FN M249 belt-fed squad automatic weapon. The Arizona group seems to be led by an individual who goes by the alias of Ren. This individual seems to be a participant in competitions at the Rio Salado Gun Club in Phoenix, Arizona. The group size in the Arizona group is estimated to be between 4 to 6. The Arizona group seems to be led by an individual who goes by the alias of Ren. This individual seems to be a participant in competitions at the Rio Salado Gun Club in Phoenix, Arizona. The group size in Arizona is estimated to be between 4 to 6. Analyst comment. Looking to the composition of this group, it literally is a stereotype of Reddit distilled into an armed group. A non-clone correct Fallout New Vegas service rifle that looks frankly gaudy, a bright Cerakoted KE Arms KP-15 what would Stoner do rifle with a furry dust cover custom installed on it, blue dyed hair, a random collection of Gunko Pops, and also being a literal gay furry. This screams pure Reddit. The only thing that would be missing would be the Young Sheldon memes. Or Breaking Bad, or whatever you call it. Hold on. Bazingua. fucking kill me. The Nevada group appears to be made of 4 or so individuals as well. It seems that one particular individual appeared to be loaning out his own weapons to equip the group. One thing to note is access to the aforementioned SOT. 9 or 10 or so people are in the group. One individual, who is armed with an AK, is known as Quiscar, aka Specialist Bakamura. He has experience as a combat-deployed Cav Scout, also known in the MOS code 19 Delta, in the 1st Armored Division. He has a decent set of equipment as well as numerous firearms, including a PSA Dagger, a PSA AR-15, a what would Stoner do AR-15, a 12-gauge side-by-side shotgun, a Masterpiece Arms Ingram-style pistol, which demonstrates possible 3D printing capabilities as evidenced by a brace, a Team Wendy bump helmet with binocular night vision goggles. Likely this would be the most experienced member of the Nevada group, likely with basic lifesaver training. Within this group, an individual known as Katsu or Kawaii, who appears to have several firearms and equipment, enough to lend out and equip a squad-sized element. One thing to note on this individual's plate carrier is that there appears to be a yellow Peril tactical forward patch, which may indicate shared ideological values. Analyst comment: see the Glow So Bright report on Yellow Peril tactical. The Missouri group, possibly numbering 4 individuals, appears to be led by an airsofter known as Peril. Key leader is part of the core Stonewall Underground Central group and appears to have a full Desert Night camo kit with an entry-level 5.56 Anderson AR-15 and a Springfield XD357 SIG pistol scrounged up in a private sale around the Ozark, Missouri area. A group is also identified in Oklahoma with approximately 5 individuals. No other information is known at time of reporting on the specific Oklahoma group. The Florida group appears to be the most interesting, where it has consolidated both its own local group as well as a Pink Pistols Tampa Bay as a single monolithic group. A key person to note would be an individual known as Crash, aka Harrison Robert. What is interesting about this individual, besides the relatively distinct 5.56 caliber AR-15, would be his claim of being an overseas deployed private military contractor. What's noted is in his involvement in groups such as Black Flag Civilian. Within Black Flag Civilian, he postures himself as an SME for anti-drone tactics, communications and radio advisory, as well as an infantry and firearms trainer for asymmetric unit organization. Within Stonewall Underground, there appears to be varying degrees of training and competence within its members. Everything from airsofters with fake quad nods and entry-level firearms and equipment, all the way to U.S. Army Cav Scouts with combat-deployed experience. While it currently doesn't appear to have significant paramilitary characteristics, nor standardization in doctrine or equipment such as Doll Squad, the group has been more agitated and gleeful since the assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025. Given enough time and the trajectory of the group, with the right subject matter experts and leadership in charge of the organization, it could be the start of a proper domestic insurgent group akin to the Weather Underground. According to Matt Shelby, the senior analyst of Gray Zone Intel or Forward Observer, he posted a video and image of the Tennessee group on September 11, 2025, which was noticed by the group on September 13, 2025. Analyst comments for this intelligence report can be found below. Looking at other armed groups historically, the sort of trajectory has been documented. For example, the splinter group of SLC Pink Pistols, Armed Queers SLC, is well funded and trained by the government of Cuba with known liaisons of Cuban senior intelligence, and joint training with the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, which had large elements of that particular group and have conducted a complex squad attack on the Prairie Ice Facility in Dallas, Texas, back in July 4, 2025. See the various intelligence reports on Armed Careers SLC, Yellow Peril Tactical, Benjamin Song, as well as the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club for more details regarding that. Take a look at another group. Community Armed Self-Defense, a Eugene, Oregon-based Marxist armed group, ended up over time doubling down and becoming a more exaggerated version of itself since the death of the former major founder, Charles Landeros. Since then, it became Doll Squad, which is essentially an all-offensive trans-Marxist death squad as evidenced by released doctrines and statements of intent. Look at the intelligence reports on Doll Squad, specifically on Appendix B on Community Armed Self-Defense and Charles Landeros. Besides the trend of more and more kinetic political events, as well as the response of increasing federal scrutiny against Antifa-related groups, this would push the group's timetable to becoming a more formal domestic insurgent group for training, equipment, and organization. And to be frank, this is one of the more disturbing and difficult groups to cover and look to date. And while I was able to pull up more information that is more in-depth than the contents of this report, trying to cut through the noise and sexual fetishes to create a usable intelligence report frankly makes my soul die. And if S2 Underground's slogan is to fight in the shade, then looking to a group like this is like wading off into the abyss, trying to see past the darkness without becoming mad. With limited amount of words to describe this sort of bleak Tartarus. It's disturbing and disgusting, and I hate it. And for that, I would ask kindly to subscribe, share, and if you could, donate to the subscribe star or the link to the Ko-fi down below for a one-time payment. And while I sound repetitive, this is indeed one of the more difficult groups to cover. Lead analyst for this report is Glow So Bright Actual. Thank you very much for watching and reading.